I hit the record button. Here we go. We will start tonight's episode with Mython and Anna. At the edge of the Chetwood, you have tracked Anna down, the cloaked figure who was speaking with the Wraith in Black Tongue moments earlier. She refuses to become your prisoner. Yeah. Only 72. And when you had your elvish blade drawn upon her, she drew her own stiletto, and a melee was about to ensue. As she lunges forward, you hear the crashing of underbrush nearby, and emerging from the trees, an enormous man. Oops, that's not her. That's the wrong person. There we go. There we go. Harry Talltree. Mython, can you please roll an old lore check with advantage, please? Okay. See if you recognize this individual.
All right, that's the first roll. And
all right. You have never met this individual, but you have heard of a giant of a man, described almost as a bear-like in appearance, who roams the Chetwood and claims it as part of an area that he protects. And he wields an enormous battle axe. So it's a woodman's axe, but it is. It looks like it can probably cleave through any normal human with one blow as well. He emerges from the forest between you and Anna and says in a deep, booming voice, "Whoa, oh ho, what is this? A man assaulting a defenseless woman within my woods." Anna immediately hides the stiletto and runs towards this giant of a man. "Please, good sir, this man was assaulting me. Please protect me." Mython, is there anything you would like to say to this accusation?
Mython will lower his sword but not sheath it, and he will look up and probably up a little more and then up still a little further up at Harry, and he will say, "The woman is neither innocent nor defenseless."
You see Harry kind of look quickly at the woman, then back at you, and says, "But here you stand before me with a weapon drawn upon a woman, and if my eyes do not deceive me, you are a ranger, a Dunedain. What business do you have within my woods, ranger?"
One moment, sorry, I was chewing. I am recently come from the graveyard where my compatriots and I encountered a wraith. The wraith has been dispatched by my own hand, and he briefly lifts the tip of the sword and lets him see its construction, and then he glances over at the school teacher and says, "And this woman was witnessed conversing with that creature.
He pauses briefly. He squints his eyes as you raise the blade, and he says, I know that blade, and you are not the owner. Are you some bandits?
Oh. This blade was taken from the hands of a man who is now dead, who was also not the owner. I can only surmise that he stole it somehow. And I know the name of the ranger. I just can't remember, as a player, I can't remember it off the top of my head. So I will say the name of the ranger that it was taken from.
I have to bring my notes up too. Begins with an M. Oh, Terry Mac is what everyone calls him around here.
Yes, Terry Mac.
I'm just going to quickly pan over to the rest of the group who's back at the graveyard, gathered around the cart. You know Mython has gone to chase after this cloaked figure. What are the rest of you doing?
I think at least I was planning on following after him once we had sort of settled the things going on at the cart. I was thinking of trying to send out some sort of a whistled bird call for Fayendale to try to bring him back so that he could lead me to where Mython was. Yes.
All right. And so the rest of you, what do you do with Jari? Actually, is the main question I have for you right now.
I think he's in the very good hands of Marigold.
When everyone came back up and saw the goings-on around the cart, Zurich actually took charge of Jari, because Marigold went to, I think it was the bench of the cart to just kind of sob and try to pull herself away from the situation where she nearly killed a man. And I remember Goldie climbing up to give her some, a comforting hug and just try to help her calm down.
I would say Zurich has the box underneath his arm. And he's just grinding his teeth and seething that Jari's story is even remotely plausible. And without any evidence to the contrary, Zurich, being a stand-up guy, has to just give him the benefit of the doubt that he, heard the screaming and wasn't sure what was happening, and he was just trying to get the amulet to safety. So that 1/100th of 1% chance that is a plausible story is absolutely killing Zurich. So he's just standing there with the box underneath his arm, grinding his teeth, trying to hold back any strong showing of emotion. But yeah, his brain is going on Jari, not necessarily on Mython and the chase that Mython went under.
Goldie, how about you? What are you up to?
Yeah, I would have sat with Marigold up there, but still try to seeing up close how scary they were. I am looking around to see if we're getting a move on, because that looks scary and we might need to help. So if someone did we put what was the pony's name? Ted back?
Ted, yeah. That was something important, is Ted was unhitched from the cart, which is what led me to calm down.
yeah, we have to get ready and everything. So kind of taking care of Marigold and also like trying to, okay, someone needs to get things together. We gotta go. Can we go? Kind of. But I don't know this wood, so I don't know if I want to go that way, the bad way, I guess, or the way we came from and like try to meet them in the middle. So I was like looking around, see what everyone's doing, very much out of her comfort zone.
Turk?
This is not what we signed up for. This is too scary. Type of deal.
Kirk is going to come down very quickly and sort of start to shake from what just happened. And he's going to excuse himself and perhaps go throw up or something over the side. And then make his way back to his cousin and say, "Cousin, I'm just going to follow you," and he'll follow Callie. Or not Callie, I'm sorry. My cousin, so the one that helped me so dearly, tried to pull me away from the Wraith.
Okay.
I'll grab Turk. You got this. We can do it. Now sit him next to Marigold. You can have a panic attack together. I'm gonna go help with the pony. I'm gonna go help with the pony. Just together.
I guess Eucalia will feel a little bit bad about how much the habits are just falling to pieces, and just to like try to be consoling and supportive in the sense of just like, in her mind she's like, I don't understand why they're overreacting so much, but I will do my best to assist because we need action.
All
I'll
right.
give them snacks. In a juice box. Okay.
Jari is standing next to you, Zurich. He is surveying the rest of the company, sees the rough, traumatized state of the hobbits and the elf, Eucalio, attempting to console them and comfort them, while Goldie is rehitching the horses. He leans over to Zurich and says, "Are you sure you couldn't find more stalwart friends? Perhaps more dwarves in the company would be helpful."
I just met them, but they seem trustworthy so far, unlike others that seem to have been glomming onto this party.
I hear your point, Zurich. And it is a fair one. I have yet to prove myself to you. But allow me to do so, if you would please. I suggest that we... we are, I would say, maybe almost halfway to the point of the East Road where we need to head north, and then he leans in and whispers to you, "Where the treasure is. We're on the way. We could just continue on."
Look around you, cretin. We're missing one. You think we would leave one behind?
He's a ranger. This is what he does. They come and go. God knows where, but I'm sure he's fine.
Dirk will look at Eucaliel and see if she can hear what Jari is saying.
Can I hear what he's saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I will sort of glance back over and just be like, we're, we're not we're not leaving Maidan behind. He was chasing after someone of importance to our mission, and he came to some of your rescue. Should we not go to his rescue as well?
And whatever trifle you want us to go to, it'll be there when we get there.
Will it?
I
Because
say that to
to him. Okay,
to
I was
Jaria.
like, to me.
Yeah, and I'm re-emphasizing your point to say to Jari, whatever trifle you want us to find, it'll be there when we get there.
Yes.
Again, just backing up that no sense in rushing off.
Of course. Master Zurich, I defer to your always better judgment. I'm here to assist you and your compatriots as best I can.
It's not judgment, it's integrity.
Of which I have so much that it overflows. I have. Just allow me to prove it to you. Allow me to. Well, now that you are in possession of the box once more, it is, of course, in the most safest place it could possibly be. But if there's something I can do to prove my worth and my place within this company to you, please let me know.
Why don't you start by demonstrating patience?
You can see him trying to bite his tongue at that. Just, of course, you're absolutely right. That treasure has been hidden all these years. It will not, of course, disappear anytime soon. But, yes, let's go find this ranger friend of yours, who I'm sure has slain many more wraiths and wights and specters or whatever evils lurk within these hills and woods. Single-handedly, he seems like a very capable fellow.
Zarek nods.
He climbs up onto the cart as if he wants to drive it.
No. Just gonna. What you doing?
Marigold would pretty much immediately start hollering and screaming at him, completely incoherently, just like furious 3'6", angry hobbit, completely nonsensical, not even words, just a lot of bup bup bup, no, everything. And yeah.
All right.
Get off my car.
Jari says, I meant no disrespect. I was simply attempting to assert myself and prove my worth. And as he steps down and turns his back to the hobbits on the cart, he looks at Zurich and just rolls his eyes.
Zurich scowls.
Master Jari, I'm looking over my shoulder here and I can see an unfinished grave. I thought you were master of the shovel, and you want to do something to help us. Why don't you finish filling in the grave?
He looks back at Zurich and says, but I thought we were going to find your friend. We should leave right away, shouldn't we? Might be in grave danger.
Zurich will look at you, Kaliel. How rough is the grave? Did we remotely bury?
It's mostly dug.
Mostly done. Mostly done. Dug.
Well, yeah, the hole's there, but you still have to put all the dirt back.
A task for Master Jari.
If you want to stay behind and supervise him dealing with the grave, we can circle back and pick you up. but I don't think we should wait.
And after this, we're going back to Bree anyways, right? He knows where Bree is. He can just find us there. He just
Are you
has
going to make him walk back to Bree in the middle of the night?
He can wait until tomorrow morning.
You see panic cross Jari's face. No, you cannot leave me here in this haunted graveyard by myself, weaponless, defenseless.
Go grab the shovel, Master Jari, and finish the job, and there won't be a problem.
He
Honestly, forgot it was night.
He turns to you, Zurich, and says, "Surely, you would not leave your kin in such a threatening place?"
No, trust is a two-way street. We intend to ever trust you. You need to be able to trust us.
But I do trust you. I trust you not to leave me here by myself, in the middle of a graveyard, haunted by wraiths.
So,
My father used to say, trust is a job well done, Master Jari.
I'm sorry to say I agree with Jari. He should not be left here alone. Zurich, if you don't want to stay here with him, that's fine. You all take the cart and catch up with Mython. I will stay here to watch Jari myself.
Zurich will hand the box to Marigold and hastily dump the body with a modicum of respect in the grave and start to finish the job himself. At a fast pace.
Okay.
Body in the grave, shoveling dirt on top.
Zurich looks a little...
Unceremonious come in too somewhere?
Jari looks a little confused.
Does Marigold accept the box? I wasn't sure if Zurich was ever going to set the box down again, but apparently he did.
All right,
Yeah,
so Marigold
has got it.
So
Marigold has the box. Zurich's working on the grave.
Yep, clutched in one hand and camp knife just in the other.
You all see Jari is torn. He looks at Zurich filling the grave, and he looks back at the cart, looks back at Zurich, and breathes a heavy sigh, picks up another shovel, and starts helping Zurich.
Very good, very good. We're on the road to trust here.
But again, Zurich, you're doing 90% of the work. He's like,
That's fine. That's fine. More work I do, the faster it'll get done. The faster we'll be able to catch up with Mython.
all right. So the rest of you climb into the cart and head back towards Bree in the general direction that Mython was chasing this cloaked figure.
Was I able to call Fayendale back to me?
Yes.
Okay, then I will ask him to lead me directly to where Mython was.
All right.
And I will follow his path.
The thing with that is that the original part of the path was off the road.
Yeah, so I'm fine if the cart takes the road. I am off-roading with my steed, following Mython's path.
Okay. All right. All right, so the hobbits are on the cart, making their way back to Bree. Zurich and Jari are filling the grave in. Eucaliel is on horseback, following her raven in pursuit of Mython. Eucaliel, can you make a hunting check for me with advantage?
You said hunting, right?
Yep.
Okay. Hunting. Advantage. 17.
All right. With Fayendale's help, you are able to retrace Mython's steps. And within 15 minutes, you emerge on the road about the same place as the cart is trundling along, and you encounter the hobbits once more.
Yeah.
And then you hear voices speaking not too far off in the woods to the north side of the road. A
Okay.
familiar voice, Mython's, amongst them.
All right. I will turn off in that direction.
All right. So you emerge. Sorry, what do the hobbits do? Sorry. Do you leave the cart on the road and follow Eucaliel, or stay with the cart?
With my hands full, I'm assuming that Goldie is driving. Does that sound right, Anna?
Yes. Don't know how good I am at it, but yes.
As long as you're not like racing, you're good.
Yeah. I feel bad leaving them alone, but I also feel bad leaving you alone. I don't know if I want you two to go there.
I think Eucalia would not. She would provide the impression that she doesn't expect you to off-road with the cart or anything like that.
Yeah.
So,
It would probably be best for us to get the cart back into Bree and to find an easier way to tuck Ted up and not endanger what is effectively our investment. Speaking as just like, the rational hindbrain that remains of Marigold.
All right. And Turk, do you want to stay in the cart then too? Oh, you're muted.
You're muted.
Read my lips. I said, damn it. If the cart is going back to Bree, then I'm going with it. My cousins need some protection as well.
All right. So the hobbits continue on, and Eucaliel. So it is only you.
Yep.
As you kind of emerge in this small clearing in the south end of Chetwood. On one side, you see Mython holding his elvish blade. On the other side, you see this enormous man wielding just as an equally enormous woodcutter's axe, and kind of huddled up beside him, a woman.
Okay. Do I pick up on like the tense atmosphere as I approach?
Yes, you do.
Okay. I won't go for any weapons or anything. I will just slow down as I approach and not try to hide myself or anything.
Okay. I'm surprised you're not pulling out your short bow and critically hitting
Yeah,
somebody.
just one in the forehead. Let's
Just
go.
one shot. Just one shot this guy.
I could. I'm not going to.
What a turn for an elf, Rivendell. Oh my
Don't
God.
tempt me, mortal.
Yep.
All right. As you emerge at the edge of this small clearing, this enormous man kind of addresses you and bows upon seeing you.
Gotcha. I will give him a nod in return.
He says, "Whoa, what a strange meeting indeed within my woods tonight. I have a fair maiden, a bandit or ranger I have not yet decided, and an elf. To what do I owe the honor?" As he addresses you, Eucaliel.
Okay. I come to catch up with my guardian, the ranger that you are so uncertain about. He is with me, and I asked him to go off in pursuit of
Sorry,
someone. Oh, animal handling.
Yeah, that was. Ignore that. That was a mistake. I apologize.
Okay. I asked him to go off in pursuit of a person of interest that was seen speaking with a wraith. And I look to Mython and then say, and gesture towards the woman and the man and just say, are either one of these people the person in question?
It would seem to be the lady who is school teacher at the town of Bree.
We were looking for her.
And now doubly so.
And she just turns. She's still clutching on to Harry's arm, kind of hide behind his enormous frame to place his body in between herself and you.
Mhm.
And you can just hear her talk softly up to Harry. Says, "What? That is nonsense. I'm just a schoolmistress of Bree. I was out taking a long stroll visiting my old relatives who are buried within the South Barrows. When I was accosted by this horrible man." And then she starts crying. Harry looks back at you, Mython, and says, "I do not know who you are, and I cannot ascertain whether you tell me the truth or not. All I see is a man attacking a woman, wielding a blade that does not belong to him, trespassing within my woods."
I have already offered my explanation, sir.
Is there any way that you will take my word for his honor in this circumstance, since you seem to immediately recognize or my kind, I guess?
I have no quarrel with the elven folk, but you have no business here, and I say that with the utmost respect.
May I, with yourself present, speak to the woman?
He looks at you, looks at the woman who appears to be traumatized, still just kind of wiping her tears away, trembling a little bit. Can you make a persuasion check for me, please?
Okay. Persuasion. Where is it? There it is. Just straight persuasion?
Yes, please.
Not my best. Nope.
Wow.
Barely not a natural one.
I do respect the old ways, Lady Elf, but these are my woods, and those who pass through it are under my protection. This young lady will have just that. You, sir, and he turns to you, Mython, it would be best if you sheathed that sword.
I will nod towards him to, do the same.
All right. He puts it away.
With that, he visibly relaxes a little bit, kind of lowers his giant woodcutter's axe a few inches. Now, with the business concluded, I suggest you make your way to wherever you are going. I shall escort this young lady to Bree myself.
As I turn to, I will. No, he has his horse, so it's fine. As I kind of like turn my horse to head back towards the road, I will kind of like look over my shoulder back towards the woman and say, Orla was looking for you.
Can you make a perception check for me, please?
Okay.
As you look for any sort of reaction from her.
Okay.
It's still good enough. You
Okay.
visibly see like a look of brief recognition and surprise cross her face before she immediately replaces it with the look of trauma once more.
I will just say, come meet her at the Prancing Pony. And then I go to leave in the hopes that I get back to the Prancing Pony before she does.
Well, they are on foot, you are on horseback, as is Mython. Mython, what would you like to do?
Mython would like to tail them all the way back to Bree, but he'll go with Eucalio.
Yeah, I don't want to incur the negative opinion of this guardian of the woods.
All right. As you mount up, Mython, Harry turns back to you and says, Ranger, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt that you are not, in fact, a bandit roaming the south ends of my woods. But tell me, do you know where Terrimac may be? The owner of that sword you carry now.
I do not, and it greatly concerns me. He would not have given up this blade willingly.
No, indeed, he would not, and that concerns me even more. Trolls have been roaming my woods as of late. I spoke with Terrimac just 3 days prior at the Forsaken Inn.
Well, that
I
gives us
fear
time
for him. Sorry, I missed what you said last.
I apologize. I said that gives us a time frame. I was kind of thinking out loud.
Okay. If you happen to cross paths with Terrimac and return his blade to him, let him know that I seek his counsel, and he can meet me in our chat.
I shall.
All right. At that, he just gives you a nod, and he starts escorting Anna by foot along the east road towards Bree. As you gallop ahead of him, you can easily catch up with the cart now. And as you're doing so, I'm just going to switch back to Zurich, who is shoveling away with Jari. For every 5 shovelfuls of dirt that you have, he tosses one half-heartedly in there as well. And he's just sweating profusely, wiping his brow with his back of his hands. Says, why is it that they always leave the digging to the dwarves? That strikes me as terribly unfair.
Zork ignores his inane banter and just works even harder.
Can you really trust that hobbit who's tried to kill me, may I remind you, with the most precious gift?
With every yammer, Zurich just digs faster. Refuses to acknowledge that Jari's even there. Any ounce of dirt he moves is a bonus. Zurich expects nothing from him.
Well,
Sorry, I'm not engaging in roleplay here, but the roleplay is that I'm literally ignoring Jari and just getting the job done.
all right. Well, Jari, he continues yammering away, and after about like 10 minutes of digging, he actually just stops and just kind of sits down on a rock and watches you continue to dig as he continues to talk to you, complaining about the hobbits, how he does not trust the elf nor the ranger, and a treasure. The treasure belongs to the dwarfen folk of Harmelt. Surely, I hope you do not intend to share it with your friends. Although, if they are your friends, they are my friends indeed. So I would be more than happy, as a show of good faith, to give them a portion of the treasure, commiserate with their aptitude, I suppose. Obviously, that would mean far less, a smaller share for the hobbits. She totally ignore him.
Zurich will pause. I'll turn around and say, my amulet got to me because of that little one who brought it to me safely. I can't trust her who brought it to me. I don't know whom I can trust.
Oh,
My objective is to resolve the curse of Harmelt, and your treasure is far down on my list. We'll get back to work.
So there is much you do not know, Master Zurich. First of all, I want to clarify. Of course, that young hobbit, Marigold, I believe her name is, I'm sure she only had your best interest at heart when she stuck a dagger in my back. But I did too. I just want you to know that as well. Perhaps we are just a misunderstanding. If you trust her, I will learn to trust her as well. Although I dare say I will sleep with one eye open whenever she's around. But
all the yammering that comes out of your mouth and you didn't explain what you were doing? You just jumped in the cart to ride away with something that didn't belong to you? All the yammering you do and you didn't think to explain yourself what you were doing?
I don't trust them. I trust you. My kin. That amulet that you have. A gift from Sauron. A gift that provided our mines with endless gold. Gold that now lies buried in that treasure trove that I mentioned to you.
So
Sorry,
go ahead.
And he just continues on. He just continues talking now. If you are able to retrieve that gold, the gold of Harmelt, and return it back to our kinsfolk back at Harmelt, you will be regaled as a hero.
So while Jari is saying this, Zurich is thinking to himself, I just want to validate this with you as game master, that amulet caused the downfall of Harmelt, right?
Your father believes it did.
Yeah. Okay, so it caused greed and infighting and ill will, and it just was a plague upon my home, and that's what caused it to fall into disrepair, right? They all started to go after one another, and that was the downfall of the clan. And that's why my father led me to Bree to get away from all that. All right, so I'm obviously not saying all that, but while Jari is telling me that this amulet was great and it was a gift from Sauron, yada yada, again, I'm just grinding my teeth and not gonna let him know that I know what my father told me, which is the amulet is actually bad news and it's not good news. Is that all true?
Yeah, but it seems to have been a double-edged sword, because on the one hand, this gift, as soon as the gift was given, the mines that were only producing tin and copper were now suddenly overflowing with gold.
Okay, all right. So that part, so from Jari's perspective, that part is true.
Yeah.
But with that prosperity came greed and infighting. All right. Again, Zurich will just say, "Shut your mouth and get back to work."
He kind of looks around a little nervously and looks back towards the road and says, "Do you think your friends will come back for us?" As he kind of looks further into the graveyard where a wraith had just recently appeared. I don't think it's very nice to leave people in the middle of a graveyard in the middle of the night.
We're dwarves. We can take care of ourselves. We'll finish the job and we'll walk back to Bree.
Yes, of course, of course. As long as I'm in the company of the great Zurich, I'm sure I am in good hands. And he kind of stands up and half-heartedly shovels half a shovelful of dirt back into the hole.
Your platitudes burn my ass, my arse, Jari.
I shall take that as a compliment, Master. After about another half hour, you're able to fill this hole. And with that, do you start walking back towards
Yes.
Bree?
Yes.
It's going to probably take you the rest of the night to get back on foot.
That's fine.
All right.
As long as Jari stays one step ahead of me and not behind me.
All right. He's attempting to walk beside you, just saying. Every time.
Beside me is fine.
Okay.
But I will not let him walk behind me.
Okay. And the entire time you're walking, he does not shut up.
Zurich will at some point reach down and grab some moss off a rock and shove it in his ears. And grasping my shovel extra tight, because that would be the only weapon I would have on the walk back to Bree.
All right. That doesn't seem to dissuade him as he continues to ramble on, even though you can no longer hear him, just a kind of muffled more. So the rest of you, Eucaliel and Mython, you've caught up with the hobbits in their cart as they trundle along back towards Bree. Is there anything you'd like to say before you make it back to Bree?
Say it again.
Is there anything those of the hobbits or Eucaliel and Mython would like to say or do before you get back to Bree, or are you just gonna group up and make sure you're safe and make sure you get back to Bree safely?
Would the hobbits not get into Bree before?
No, not with the horses would catch up to the cart before you get to Bree.
Oh, darn it. I thought so, but I thought I'd ask.
All right.
I think at the very least, before Mython and Eucaliel catch up with the cart, she'll just quickly give him the rundown of what happened after he left, of pretty much being like, Jari's still a problem, just so you know. She will mention that the hobbits seem very shaken by all of this and that she's worried about them. and comment that she saw a look of recognition on the school mistress's face when she mentioned Orla, and that they have to get back to the Prancing Pony and prepare to intercept or eavesdrop on a meeting between the two of them.
Would it perhaps not be better to wait at the gate for her to come back? I do not know if we will find her again, if she is allowed to walk freely through the town.
But I told her where she could find Orla. Don't you think that... I don't know her intentions, but at the very least, if she doesn't trust you or I, might she not be going to perhaps kill Orla? And therefore, she would still be going to the Prancing Pony? I agree. Maybe we do try to stop her at the gate, but we might also be able to find out information if we wait for her to get to the Prancing Pony.
I will defer to you in this matter, Lady Eucalio, but the woman has already shown herself to be dangerous and deceptive.
Yeah, do you share what happened with you and
Oh,
her?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. These daggers, they're cropping up everywhere. Be sure to tell Zurich about the dagger when we group up with them.
They're trailing behind us, though, aren't they? Because they stayed behind to finish the grave. It's going to be
That's
hours
true.
before they
Yeah.
get back.
Yeah, but just be sure to let him know when we catch up. Although I think Eucaliel expected that somebody was going to go back and pick them up. Like, that was her intention initially. It was like, we're going to go do our thing, and then we're going to go back and get the dwarves.
Maybe you can.
Yeah. It's just right now she wants to make sure that she, heads off the schoolmistress when we get to Bree. But yeah, that... I think... What if they come at a different gate, though? Perhaps we can do both. Perhaps we can wait at the gate and send a message to the Prancing Pony and say if anyone comes to speak, or not anyone, if the schoolmistress comes to speak with our messenger friend, that they stall her as best they can and send us a message.
She is armed. I don't think we should jeopardize the innkeep and his family.
Do you really think that in the middle of an inn she would just draw a weapon and attack?
I did not think she would draw a weapon and attack in the middle of a forest, but she did. She seemed quite desperate once she realized... how would he phrase this? Once she realized what we had witnessed her do.
You're right. I don't want to risk them. I also don't want to risk these poor hobbits who have been through enough already, even if we send them on to the Prancing Pony with those exact instructions. They'll be putting themselves at risk as well. But like you said, if we go to the Prancing Pony, she could disappear. If we wait at the gate, she could get there some other way and kill our messenger. I swore to Gandalf that I would bring her safely to Rivendell, to Imladris, since we're just the two of us. And I think at that point we probably catch up with everyone else, because that was a longer conversation than I expected.
Yeah, you can see them trundling along. The hobbits. You hear the clip clop of hoofbeats behind you,
Yeah.
and you see Mython and Eucaliel catching up to you. Do you share with the hobbits? Sorry, go ahead.
As we get further and further from the graveyard, and Marigold calms down and eases down some, she'll just mumble a little bit about, like, I swear he was going to take the cart and leave us. He was going to leave you all, and I couldn't let it happen. And just, she'll loop it a couple times just as she continues to de-escalate.
Cousin, did the right thing. You've got to stop beating yourself up over that dwarf. He's not worth the dirt under his fingernails if he has any.
I'm focused, Jarvie, but I'm nodding.
Mython and Eucaliel, do you mention any of your encounter with the woman to the hobbits?
Do we want to trouble them with this?
Do we already know that they found one of those daggers?
I don't think you ever showed them that, did you, Turk?
During the trial, Gandalf asked.
Oh, after the trial, Gandalf asked to see it? Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, was that in our presence? Like, we were all gathered?
Yeah, we were all in
Yeah.
that little office.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then let me ask you this. Since Mython got presumably a decent look at the stiletto she was brandishing, did he recognize it?
Look very similar. Those stilettos are very rare in these parts. It's not a very practical tool to cut things with. Its primary purpose is to murder.
Yeah.
It's a murder weapon.
It's to poke things until they die.
Yeah.
This is the same thing that Zorik has in his pouch, right? He got from Ermok.
And occasionally to open letters.
Yes, that's true. You can use it as a letter opener.
Open letters.
All right. So
I think that Eucaliel would, especially since they discussed possibly looping the group in to help kind of like catch the schoolmistress, I think she would be willing to share with them like what we found out.
okay. All right. So everyone is brought up to speed, I think, pretty much with everything. You make your way back to Bree and the Inn of the Prancing Ponies. I'm assuming that's where you all head to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the hobbits, anyways.
Hobbits?
Yeah. I don't know. I was perfectly fine with going to the Prancing Pony until Mython was like, we should wait at the gate. Now I'm like, you're absolutely right. We should wait at the gate.
The thing that I was about to suggest before we caught up with the hobbits was that one of us take the gate and the other take the end.
Yeah, I was going to say it as well. I think that that's a good idea. Maybe have Mython wait at the gate. And because of the fact that what's her name? Betsy? The wife of the innkeeper?
Yep.
She
Betsy.
doesn't like Python anyway, so Yeah, I would agree to that. Leaving Maidan at the gates and then going with the rest of everyone to the Prancing Pony.
All right.
But
So,
if so, they know you, Martha. They know. I don't think she trusts you, and the person that she was with didn't trust you. Why don't I maybe wait with you, and you can be a little bit more hidden? I'm quick on my feet, and I can hide pretty well. Maybe I could follow them if they're coming through this gate, at least. And then, if I need you, I can just yell. I'm loud. What do you guys think?
What do you think, Maidan?
The thing is that Maidan did not witness any of their.
Yeah, like he hasn't. He's
like-
just
like-
taking my word on it of their behavior.
Oh, you told him about that too?
Well, all I said was that it seemed like they were being shooken up by what had happened. I didn't go into specifics. So if Goldie is volunteering.
Yeah, he'll say if you feel up to it. How would he address the hobbits? He hasn't actually had a conversation with them yet.
I gotta say too that you're looking at the most colorful hobbit you've ever seen. Goldie is just happy. Just colored hair and flowers, just so happy to be there. Trying not to show that she's freaking out. But she's there.
I think he'll call you gentle lady. That's how he'll address you. Yeah, he'll say, if you feel up to it, gentle lady, an extra set of eyes is always helpful.
Okay.
all right. So Mython and Goldie are going to hang out at the east gate,
Mhm.
waiting for the arrival of Harry and Anna. Zurich and Ajari are still on the road in deep conversation. At least Jari is. So Marigold, Turk, and Eucaliel, you are back at the Inn of the Prancing Pony. Is there any?
Before we settle down to things, because this is like late night. I feel like
This is
everyone just
very
wants to like fall into a bed and go to sleep. So I will go to talk to either the innkeeper or his wife about room arrangements. Because what I'm going to ask is whether or not they have a room that is close to, preferably next door to, where Orla is resting, and asking if I could perhaps get a room there.
Okay.
And warn them to let me know if they see the schoolmistress.
Okay. So unlike the picture here where there's music and people, by the time you arrive at the Inn of the Prancing Pony, it is actually quiet and dark.
Yeah.
It's so late. Everyone's gone to bed. The common room is closed. So
Oh, everyone.
yeah.
I feel like it's like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning by this point.
Probably a little later, actually, probably closer to 3.
Yeah.
So you end up having to knock.
Turk was going to look for a drink.
Too
You end up
bad.
having to knock on the door.
Okay.
And Mr. Butterbur, always hungry, answers the door and says, please come in. Your rooms have already been prepared for you. I wasn't expecting you tonight. I thought given the hour, that you would not arrive until tomorrow. But please, the kitchen is closed, but we'll have breakfast in the morning if you wish to partake in that. You can tell you woke him up. He's just gotten his nightcap and.
I apologize for waking and disturbing you. By any chance, is the room that you prepared for myself near the room where the messenger is resting?
Oh, no. Betsy has placed her in the very quiet, secluded part of the inn to minimize disturbances and whatnot. No. Your rooms are actually just upstairs here.
Might I ask, and I'm more than happy to pay additionally for this inconvenience, but if that area is quieter and therefore the rooms are empty around where she's resting, you don't need to prepare the room at all, but may I stay in the room next to hers? I worry for her safety.
Of course. Just let me check. And he pulls out a book from underneath his counter and starts leafing through it and running his finger down. Would it just be for you? Or I believe you travel with a companion?
I think originally Mython and Eucaliel were sharing a room, so she'll just say myself and a companion.
Okay. So I don't have the room immediately adjacent to her room, but there is one across the hall and one down. So that's as close as I can place you.
That is perfectly fine.
And you'll relinquish your other room then?
Absolutely.
Okay. You can see he looks a little perturbed at that, but okay.
Because it is so late, no one would have been able to take that room. So I will say that I will pay for tonight for the room because of the fact that he couldn't get anyone else into that room.
With that, he just kind of smiles at you. His demeanor changes. How great, how generous of you. Very much appreciated. It will just be a silver penny for the room and board. And your horses, I assume, will need stabling as well?
That's correct.
All right, that's included too. Not a problem. Not a problem. I'll have to run out back and wake up the stable boys, but okay, no, not a problem. Not a problem. Please, and he looks over at you, Turk and Marigold. Yes, I prepared a couple of rooms for you small folk upstairs as well.
Master Butterbur, I'll wake the stable boys because I have a few words for them, but would you be so kind before you head back to your toasty warm bed? Could you perhaps draw some ale for me? It's been a rough night.
Mm-hmm. Oh. He looks over his shoulder and towards the common room and says, "Just don't tell Betsy."
I won't. We won't.
Yeah.
Perhaps two others as well? Cousins? Or would you prefer a sherry? Both mute.
Well, Goldie's not there. Marigold is. All right, so he just pours you a half pint, Turk. And hands it over to you. Can I ask you to bring this to your room? I don't want any evidence lying about here for Betsy to wake up to.
Certainly, sir. And I'll tell you, it was a stormy, stormy night tonight when we had to dig that grave, but I'll take my pint back to my room.
Oh, that's right. You went to bury those good folks. Yes, I'd love to hear more about it, but I should be getting back to bed. It is after 3 o'clock, and I must be up in a couple of hours to prepare for the next day. So,
Certainly,
sleep.
anytime then. Thank you very much, and I'll get the boys looking after the horses.
Yes, thank you. Have a pleasant night, and I'll see you in the morning then. And he trundles off upstairs. Callie, you can find your way to your room. Marigold, what are you up to?
I'm gonna head to the room that we had originally been prepared, and just bunker down and try to get some rest, and just finish putting this horrible, terrible, not so good, very bad day behind me.
Okay. So Turk, I'll just say that you are the one that, or you're going to drive the cart back towards the stables and have Ted taken care of. He can actually probably lead your horse to Eucalio, if you like. Get all that sorted if you like.
Yes. Yes.
All right, so you make your way back to the stable area. And you wake up the stable boys. They're sleeping in piles of hay in one corner of the stables.
Oh my god! A laborer!
They are quite young. So they wake up, they see you there, and they hurry over. They start taking care of the horses and the cart and Ted. They're trying to avoid eye contact with you as they work. Is there anything you'd like to say to them?
Certainly, boys, you're doing a wonderful job. And you know that old saying goes, keep your nose out of trouble, and trouble will not come to you. That's all I've got to add, and you guys look after yourselves tonight. Keep warm. And I'll throw him the blanket that the corpse and... No, I won't do that.
They say,
That was one of my blankets, you jerk.
Of course, good sir. We'll take good care of your pony and your horse and your cart. They seem a little nervous to ask this, but finally Bob speaks up and says, "Good sir, there is no body in the back of the cart this time, is there?"
No, boys. No. We buried him just tonight. It was a stormy, stormy night when we dug that grave. In that graveyard. Oh my goodness. The two dwarves digging and digging and digging. And when I heard this god-awful screech from the graveyard, and it came at me and my cousin. And
You can see their eyes are like saucers as they're looking at you. You can see them like trembling a little bit, kind of frozen in place as you finish this story. They're afraid of what you're going to do to them. But is there anything else you want to say to them before they take care of everything?
Do I have I mean, all I've got in my inventory is silver. Do I have I must have a copper piece on me, right?
If you don't have the copper, then it's all silver pennies that you have.
Boy, I must seem like a rich roller here. It would seem cheap if I asked for change, right? What is it? Is it 10 copper per silver?
Yeah. Silver is a lot here.
Looks like you're gonna have to go to the the money changer in the morning to break some of these silver down.
Well, hopefully Barney can break some of these 50s for us, or hundreds, or whatever we've carrying. 50s, I guess. I'll give them. Basically, when we have pipeweed, each one is for one person. So if I give them 2, that's 1 for each of them. And
Yeah.
I'll give them some pipeweed.
All right. They will gladly take that. You can tell that they're a mixture of terrified of you, as well as grateful for the pipeweed, and even more grateful that there's no longer a dead body in the back of your cart. They as soon as they start putting things away and you walk away, you can kind of hear them kind of immediately light up their pipes and start smoking.
So do I get to have a roll to try to get more on their good side?
Oh, what would you like to do or say to them?
Well, that's. I told them the story. I gave them the pipeweed. I gave them a compliment for a job well done.
The story ended up terrifying them more than.
It wasn't entertaining at all. Not even.
These would be the equivalent of like a 14-year-old kid that has witnessed murder, have.
You traumatized these kids and then you gave them drugs to calm them down.
Be traumatized. You guys, who was the one who murdered somebody?
That would
That
be
would
me.
be the elf, yeah.
These poor kids are going to be in therapy for the rest of their lives.
Here I thought I was telling a ghost story. You know what I'm saying? Well, I was telling a ghost story.
But they're also quite terrified of you because they essentially snitched on you, and they're kind of afraid of reprisals, right?
And that's why. No, that's exactly. So that's why I was trying to smooth this out a little bit. That's all. I'm not
Okay.
trying to get something from them. I'm just trying to smooth it out a little bit.
All right, go ahead and make a persuasion check then for me, please.
Does the pipeweed give me advantage?
Yeah, but everything else gives you disadvantage, so it's going to even out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Not deception, persuasion, right?
Mhm.
Or performance?
No, this will be persuasion. You're trying to get on their good side. You're not.
Well, it's both -1 anyways. Oh, God.
Yeah. So they're being very polite to you, listening to your stories, being professional, doing their job. But they are still very reserved. They're not comfortable around you at all.
Slowly but surely winning influence and making friends. I'll head back. I'll head
Okay.
back to bed.
Right. Yeah, that's when you hear them start light up and smoke their weed. All right, you head back. Zurich. You see the lights of Bree off in the distance. Finally, it's just before dawn. You can hear the bird song starting to break through the trees around you. And for the first time, Jari is flagging a little. It's been a long night for him as well. His voice is probably the only thing that's still going strong as he continues to talk, but he can just see he's dragging his feet a bit, struggling to keep up with you. And he puts his hand on your shoulder as soon as Bree comes into sight. Just, may I have a word with you, Master Zurich, before we rejoin the company?
Orc will stop and look at him.
He kind of points at your ears that are stuffed with moss. I have been thinking of the best way to tell you this, and I was looking for the most opportune time to do so without prying ears and whatnot. And I find this is probably the best and only opportunity I will have to do so. Actually, that's the wrong one. I want to do this one. What are your intentions, good sir, for the amulets and of Harmelt?
For the amulet, I don't know yet. For Harmelt, want to find out what went wrong and restore its glory.
And what if I told you your father was still alive?
Best not lie if you make that claim.
Well, I cannot speak with certainty at this point. But I did see him just, what was it, 2 months prior at the Forsaken Inn.
Does Zurich know what the Forsaken Inn is?
It is a day's journey east of Bree along the Great East Road. It is the last hospitable place before you enter the true wilds of eastern Eriador. Not a very hospitable place from what you've heard. You've never been there yourself. Yes, it is near Weathertop. But yeah, Jari continues. And I am being truthful to you now. It is not just the treasure that interests me, but it is my concern for you and your father, who was also, I believe, hunting for that treasure. That is why I have been so insistent that you help me find it. I did not want to mention this earlier simply because I did not want to get your hopes up. I do not know the state of your relationship with your father. But I feel I must come clean now.
Why do you think my father is concerned with this treasure? We recognize the safety that wealth can bring for our clan. But he is not driven by greed like some dwarfs. That I'm certain. I ask again, why do you think my father is searching for this treasure?
Your father is accused of stealing that amulet from Harmelt. And thereby, many of our kin blame him for our downfall.
Zurich is stone-faced. Was he aware of this accusation? I'm trying to remember back to the letter. The letter convey that...
The letter did say he took the amulet away from Harmelt. I think he also alluded to the fact that there were... that he kind of stole away with it along with you when he left.
Right, but Zurich's of the impression that that was a corrupting influence and he was martyr. He was a martyr trying to save Harmelt from the corrupting influence. I won't share any of that with Jari.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me again what Jari said.
That there are those in Harmelt who believe your father was a traitor who stole the amulet, and since he left with it, has doomed Harmelt.
York will just stick out his lower lip and say, those who think that don't know the full story. And they'll turn his shoulder to Jari, start walking. And he will put Jari behind him at this point because he doesn't want to have anything more he does not want to hear any more disparaging remarks about his father, so he'll turn his shoulder and just start walking.
Yeah, he follows after you. Says, but Master Zurich, be assured that I, of course, hold your father and yourself in the highest esteem. I could not imagine a man who has a son of your integrity and stature to be capable of such a thing. I'm sure it is simply a misunderstanding. But I believe the key to solving this is that treasure. And that is why I ask you, can you really trust your companions? You've known them for, what, 2 days, 3 days? We are kinsfolk. We hail from the same mountains.
I'll sleep on it. Turn my back to Jari and start walking towards town.
Mm. And for the first time, he shuts up and walks in silence behind you. Mython and Goldie, you wait at the east gate of Bree. You wait there for a couple of hours. Again, it's pre-dawn, like 4 o'clock in the morning. Neither of you have had a rest. So this is also something as well. Because you've gone so long without a rest, and it was actually a harrowing kind of experience, you'll each be suffering a point of exhaustion, as you as well as Zurich, as you've made that long hike back to Bree that night and foregoing sleep. Can you each make a perception check for me, please? Goldie and Mython.
As we were waiting there, Goldie would have been drilling Mython. What do you want me to do? Where do you want me to stand? What should we do? Do you want to attack? Do you want me to attack? Do you want to attack? What are we going to do? It's like the whole time. I'm awake.
So remember, you're exhausted, so this is going to be a disadvantage. I need to roll again, and we'll take the lower of the two numbers.
Oh my god.
The hell?
She's naughty.
All right. Goldie's yeah, totally wired.
Smoking the whole time I was driving. Yeah.
So Goldie's this like bundle of energy at like 4 o'clock in the morning, next to a flagging Mython. Goldie, you're the first to notice the hulking figure of Harry Talltree, and walking beside him, a slender woman. They're probably
inside?
You're just inside the gates. Yes, the gates are actually closed, and you're actually looking through them because Bree closes their gates at night. They don't allow people typically to come in the middle of the night. There is, I should also mention, there is also a gatekeeper there.
Oh, Raiden, wake up. They're coming. I see someone right there. I see someone next to him. Do you want to intercept them? Do you want to follow them? What are we doing?
And I will say with that natural 20, even with disadvantage in this dark night and after you haven't slept, you see the two figures in conversation and they seem to be laughing, enjoying each other's company.
They're happy. Makes sense.
That's the worst. No, Mython will urge Marigold, right?
Goldie.
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 Yeah, they're gold.
Does that help that the names are they both have gold in them? He will urge Goldie to calm down, and just to keep them in sight. We're going to, if they continue to move into the town, we will shadow them. But try to not draw attention to yourself.
Okay. Is there something around us where we can hide?
Oh,
Do
yeah.
we still have your horse?
That's a good question. Do you have your horse with you, Ivan?
No.
Okay.
No.
So we'll say that was stabled as well. Okay. Can you both make stealth checks for me, please, with advantage?
Which should cancel out because we're exhausted.
Exactly.
Is that how that works? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wow.
All right, Mython, you slink into the shadows. However, Goldie, your bright yellow floral printed dress kind of sticks out like a sore here. You do your best to hide, but like your dress just kind of flows out from behind wherever you're hiding. And as Harry and Anna stand at the gates, Harry, you can overhear them. Actually, can you both make a straight perception check for me, please? See if you can overhear any part of the conversation. All right. Goldie. Maybe you should sign up to be a ranger. I'm just saying.
Too busy listening in to hide.
You overhear them saying, "No, this is straight." Just because they're so close, but you are tired. That Harry's basically telling Anna to be safe. These roads are dangerous. Should not be traveled alone. Perhaps her excursions and visitations of the graveyard, especially at night, should perhaps be put on hold until the recent scourge of trolls and bandits has been dealt with. And that if she is ever in a Chetwood again in the future or in the Archet area, she's more than welcome to pay him a visit. To that, she bows, does a little bit of a curtsy, and then kisses him gently on the cheek. To which he blushes a little, and she walks in. You could tell that she clocks your floral dress, Marigold, but she doesn't stop or break strides. You can tell that she knows you are there, but she continues to walk in.
Do I realize she's seen me?
Yes.
And I, acting very tired, I'm just gonna try to like pull myself up and just like waddle, like following, but just being obvious about it that I'm going in the same general direction. Just acting tired, just like I got lost or whatever, because she did not see me.
Okay. And Mython, what would you like to do?
Quick game mechanical question.
Mhm.
How many levels of exhaustion is it possible to get?
Well, you can get up to 6 levels. If you hit exhaustion level 6, you are dead.
Okay. So, I assume that Mython has noticed that the teacher has noticed the halfling.
Mhm.
Okay, then she gets to be a decoy then. He's going to ghost them both as they move through the town.
Okay. Goldie, you mentioned you just stumble out. You're not trying to hide anymore. That's correct.
No, I just like hiding as if I was like taking a little rest and like trying to follow her. In the sense of like I am faster than I seem, but like every time she looks, if she's looking, I'll go slower and I'll pause and I'll like smile. And I'll just mumble like, "Oh my gosh, this is so early and so late. I should go to bed. I should go to bed." And just like keep going and try to find something in my pack and stuff. Like being obvious about it, but like trying to play it tired and cool.
Okay. So as you're kind of trailing her, you can tell that she's making her way up Bree Hill.
Where
And if you look in your handouts, you'll see where she's walking. Map of Bree.
okay. So is she going? She's not going the way of the prancing pony, right?
No, you see the road that goes up the hill towards 12.
Yeah.
That's where she's headed.
Okay.
From the east gate.
Oh, the east gate is the rightmost from
That's
the map.
the rightmost one, yeah. The number one on the rightmost. Kind of passes 14 and goes up the hill.
Yep.
Well, she gets to about the base of Bree Hill and notices this young halfling woman wearing a bright floral dress, kind of stumbling behind her. And she finally turns around, puts her hands on her hips, and says, "Pleasant morning, isn't it?"
Is it? Pray for it to be morning. I was supposed to meet someone at the gate, and they didn't show up, and I fell half asleep, and now I'm trying to find where we were supposed to go. But they told me this gate. I'm sure they did, but I get
So,
lost.
if you're meant to wait for them at the gate, why are you following me?
Because I was meant to meet them yesterday night, and I fell asleep, and you bustling in woke me up, so I kind of was like, well, I don't think I'm supposed to be here anymore. Because the sun's coming, my friends are not. So I think I'm just gonna go lay down. And I was supposed. Who are you? I don't know if I want to talk to you.
I'm nobody. And if you need a place to stay, the Inn of the Prancing Pony should be open in another hour or two. I suggest you take lodging there. And in the meantime, Mygon, can you make another stealth check? This time it'll be at disadvantage. Actually, no, it'll be straight roll. Straight roll for me, please.
Yay, perfectly even.
Okay. So she turns her attention to you, Goldie, and says, "So, have a pleasant morning, then. And good night, or good day."
How do you get there? This is my first time here. Do you have, I don't know, a map, an indication? Like, you can point with your finger. I'm fine with that.
Just go back to the road that we came up on and then make a right, and you cannot miss it. It's along the main road through Bree.
Uh,
Now have a good day. And she starts making her way up the hill again.
okay. She's going up the hill, right?
Yeah.
Then I'll go down until I disappear from her side and try to see if there's anyone bustling around.
Well, you go, as you turn around, you see Mython kind of peering from behind the building, trying to.
And I'll waddle that way. I really need to change clothes. When she's out of earshot, then I catch up to Mython. I'm sorry. What do we do?
Mython's going to continue to follow her.
Okay.
I should change clothes.
Goldie, do you continue to follow as well?
I'm scared I'm gonna fuck it up again because I'm not as stealthy as I'm not quiet. I don't think my clothes help me with this. You know, it should be my best thing anyway. Do you want me to come and help you, or do you want me to wake Callie?
Actually, that's a good idea. He will say, thank you very much for your help. You look quite tired, though. Gentle lady, why don't you go back to the inn and alert Lady Eucaliel, that I have spotted the school teacher and am pursuing her through the street.
Are you gonna need help? Like in the meantime, Alright, I'll be fast. I think that'll be the best.
All right, so Goldie, you rush back to the inn.
Yes.
Are you like running as fast as you can, or just kind of?
We're out of her sight.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll run as fast as I can. Got little legs.
Okay. Mython, can you make another perception check for me, please, at disadvantage? Okay. For a brief moment, you lose track of Anna. You can make a hunting check to see if you have a general idea as to where she's going. So it'll be a straight hunting check. You have advantage because you have an idea where she's going. Disadvantage just because you're exhausted. So it's straight roll. Okay.
God, these rolls.
Yeah.
Now, one moment. Let's see. No, it doesn't look like it's useful for this. Okay.
All right. Can you make a wisdom saving throw for me, please? Mython?
Okay. Oh my god.
Okay. You follow where you believe Anna is headed up the main road towards the schoolhouse. You
Oh, sorry for the interruption. I was looking at warded lands,
Mhm.
and it says that when you make an intelligence or wisdom check related to warded lands, your proficiency bonus is doubled if you are using a skill that you're proficient in. I am proficient in hunting, so I should add another 2 to my hunting roll.
Okay. No, that's absolutely correct. So that'll be a 13 in hunting. Yeah. So you have a good sense as to where she's going.
Okay.
Even though you don't have a direct line of sight to her, you know the direction she's headed. And in fact, you hear what sounds to be her voice, perhaps, just around the corner. You sneak up to peer around the corner, and as you do so, you feel the cold blade of a stiletto at the back of your neck. And her whisper in your ear. Ranger, why do you hunt me?
We did not have the opportunity to conclude our conversation.
This is not a conversation. Tell me why I should not kill you now.
Because my companions know that I was following you, and they will come for you.
I'm not concerned about your companions. I'm concerned about why you are so intent on tracking me. Who sent you?
I don't think he'll answer that question. I think he stays mum.
Okay. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to roll with advantage on her attack. Because she whispers in your ear final words, I don't have time for this. She stabs you. That is going to be 22 to hit. And it will be 1d4, 2d4 damage.
Question, you rolled this in alchemy? Because I'm not seeing anything updating.
No, I just rolled it off.
Oh, okay.
Off the map here. I just rolled on dice. And I'm just looking at this one too, and it is an automatic critical hit. So 2d4 damage. Plus 1, that's 4. 5, 6, 7. 17 points of damage.
Okay. Well, I mean,
It is now your.
that drops me.
You're down. Okay. You lose consciousness and drop to the ground. So,
how do we use fellowship points if we desire to use one at this point? What would be
He
rolled
would be
for
able to use a
attack?
well, since he's down already and he's going to have to start making death saves, you can use a fellowship point to re-roll a death save, for example.
But not her attack.
Not her attack. No, the attack's been done. It's gone.
So when would we have had to have invoked it? At that time?
It would only impact his rolls. So, for example, when he was making his wisdom save, right? You could have used one then.
I understand.
All right. So, it's going to be a little while. Goldie is running as fast as her little hobbit feet can take her back to the prancing pony. They get help. So I'm going to have you make some death saves.
I do have 30 feet instead of 25.
Yeah, so you're dashing at 60 feet. It's still going to take you probably from where you are, probably the better part of a minute to get back to the end of the prancing pony. So that's going to be like many rounds. So Mython has to pull through this on his own.
I will say, just as a player, I am completely and utterly behind Mython Steel-Eye starting off his death saves using a fellowship point, even if we only have the 9 of them, I think, Andrew, or was it 8?
8. You have 8 of them.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm okay with him using a point. He can decide after because you immediately know if you succeed on a death save.
Mm-hmm.
So does he have to decide before he makes the roll, or can he decide after he makes the roll whether to use it?
Here's the thing. What I will allow you to do, Mython, do you have a D10 in front of you? Or D20, sorry, in front of you, like an actual die?
I don't have one handy, no.
No? If you go to Google...
Yeah, you can use the Google search. They have the dice rollers right on the search thing.
Yeah. So what I'll have you do is roll a D20 using whatever means you have, like Google or any other kind of digital dice that you have in D&D Beyond or wherever you want to roll it. Don't tell anyone that number. And then the rest of the fellowship can decide if they want to give you that fellowship point or not.
Okay. But I am okay with giving him the first one.
I already brought it up for that precise reason.
Yeah.
Okay, you have that fellowship point. So go ahead and roll that D20. I find because everyone's giving you the fellowship point, you can just roll with advantage, really, effectively, is what you're doing here.
Huh?
Roll,
Wait,
yeah, just roll
talking
two.
about,
Just
you're
roll
talking
two.
about the secret one? Are you talking about the secret one, or do you want me to roll in alchemy?
Oh, now because everyone's decided to give you the fellowship point, regardless, you can just roll your D20 in alchemy straight away.
Okay.
With advantage.
Yes.
Wow.
That's a fail. Oh,
Andrew?
we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Thanks. The way the fellowship points work with Gandalf as your patron, I mentioned this before, you can continue to burn through them until you get the rolls that you want. So you can keep rolling them. You can keep burning fellowship points if you like.
I'm getting confused. Okay, so what was the purpose of the hidden die roll, or have you not revealed that yet?
Oh, the reason why I want to hide that roll is because I want the rest of the party to decide whether or not they want to give you that fellowship point or not. But because they all said they want to give it to you regardless, you didn't have to. It didn't have to be a secret roll.
Oh, okay. So my first roll failed. You're saying that I can continue burning fellowship points?
Yeah. So
until you
we're
pass.
now. Yeah, we're down 1 fellowship point now. Know if we should. Like, the first fail isn't that big of a deal, in my opinion. You know, because we could literally burn them all, and he still has to roll another 9 times before she gets to someone, and then another potentially 10 times before someone gets to him. If we burn them all on this, what happens if he rolls a natural 1 later? That's just my opinion.
Is it 10 checks? I think it was
It's
that
just
much.
3.
Yeah,
It's just
3.
3 checks for death save.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that is the total amount of time before someone sees him. And granted,
yeah.
once he gets 3 successes, great. But if he keeps going like a success here, a success there, then that's like a total of a maximum of 5 rolls before he either succeeds or he doesn't. So, you know, I don't know if we want to burn them all right here.
Yeah. So from a math perspective, it makes sense to save them all for the last roll.
Yeah.
When he's down to like, yes, unless, I mean, if he fails this one and then the next one, yeah,
Is a natural 1, he
Is a natural
still
one.
completely fails. Yeah.
yeah. So, what do you want to do? Just
So-
fail the first one and continue on?
Yes.
I vote fail the first one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're on to the second death save. Go ahead and just roll. Don't bother doing it in secret. Just roll in alchemy, and you're good.
Oh, fuck.
All right. He kind of has to re-roll this one. I vote giving him a fellowship point.
Mathon, man, your rolls are epic.
Yeah.
Worst
Yeah,
way possible.
absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So I can do the roll. If it fails, burn the point.
Yeah.
Or do I have to declare beforehand?
With the way with Gandalf's patron points, yes, you can just, you failed, you failed, roll again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All you need
Wow.
is the agreement from everybody else, which I
Okay.
think we're all on board.
But only Gandalf's points work like this.
Oh my god, Mathon, what are you doing? You're killing me.
So now I can burn the point and roll again, right?
So you burned 2 points so far.
Yes.
I'm getting so confused by all of this.
As long as
So-
Andrew understands.
So
You're
your
still on-
first round, you
Yeah.
rolled twice, burning a point, and you still failed. This is your second round. You failed. We gave you a point. You failed again. You can continue attempting for this round to succeed because Gandalf is our patron, or you let it go and move to the next round.
And if you fail that, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my third failure. Like unless I
That's what
re-roll
I'm
this.
saying. This is the first 2, the advantage roll that you originally made was for 1 round because we automatically gave you the fellowship point before you rolled. So that was an advantaged roll for your death save. And then you rolled for the second round, you failed, we gave you a point so that you could roll again. You can keep doing it for that second round until we run out of points.
So you
Does
can
that make
keep rolling.
sense?
You got 6. You got 6
Okay.
points left.
Yeah, but we're gonna end up. Okay. Well, I mean, it's up to you guys. Do I keep going or do I let him die?
Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Way too soon.
We
Yeah,
need
I
at least
feel-
one success.
You're the guy with the sword.
3
Okay.
points.
Oh Christ.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. Oh
This is
fuck.
getting preposterous.
It's getting.
Keep going.
I see a nat 20 coming in. You gotta
do
get
too.
a
Got
nat.
to.
Law of
It
averages.
has to.
Just
Just
math.
stabilize
It's
yourself,
math.
please.
It's math.
Okay, that's a success.
Okay. You burn through 5 fellowship points.
Yeah.
You have 1 success, 1 fail.
Yeah. So,
Uh,
third round.
all right, go ahead, roll again.
Okay.
Natural 20, natural 20. Yes!
There we go.
You stabilize!
Gandalf's fireworks go off.
Yes. So here's what happens then. Goldie, you run back to the Inn of the Prancing Pony. People are just like settling into bed there, the rest of your company. Who do you wake first?
Is there? Because I don't know where Khalil is.
No,
I
no
didn't
one
know that
does because I got
before.
a new room.
Yeah. Is there? Do I see? Bernie? Bernie?
Yeah, he'll be the one answering the door, and he looks bloodshot eyes, bleary eyed. Just, why are you coming in at all hours of the night? Just,
I don't know. I am looking for my other friend. I don't know what name she gave. Callie, I'm pretty sure, because that's what you.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
she had a
she's
companion.
up there, second floor, the far back of the inn. He gives you the room number.
Yeah, not done, and I'm running. You know,
Okay.
because okay, do I assume that me seeing my because I saw Myvan when I turned around, so I could see that he wasn't hiding, right?
He was attempting to hide, just not doing a very good job of it.
Okay. So, doing a shitty job myself, I was like, recognize. And I frantically just knock at the door. Both
I
hands.
was.
Might I be
So-
coming back from the stables?
Yeah,
Back-
you,
coming
no,
back-
this was hours after you're asleep already.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I was going to say what my plan had been to await someone arriving at the Prancing Pony. So I go into my room that's across the hall and slightly down from Orla's. I leave the door just slightly cracked and sit down on the inside of the door, so it's like resting against me. And I begin my meditation, my trance, so that I'm semi-conscious. So if I hear something or whatever, I can wake up. And I am just waiting to hear any sound coming up the hallway. So like if she rushes up, even if I don't hear her, she's gonna see that the door is open, like slightly ajar when she goes to knock on it.
Yeah, and you hear the soft, patty
Yeah.
footsteps of a hobbit running down the hallway.
Okay. Then she goes to knock and I'm standing up and I open the door just as she's going to knock.
You scared me. Okay, so I told him I would get you. We were following her. She saw me because, well, she saw me. Anyway,
She saw you.
I also saw him, and I don't know how well he was. And
You
for
left him
everything,
alone?
I had to get you. She already knew me, and I wanted.
Where were you?
She was talking to me because she saw me. We were not doing a good job. We're tired.
It's fine. Where were you?
Let's go.
Where did you leave him?
We're going. Run.
Okay.
Run. I'm running. Run,
I
run,
will
run, run.
rush out. And as I'm exiting, I will motion for Fandor to follow me because he was waiting there for Mython to show up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you bother
I will-
waking up the hobbits too? No.
I don't.
No,
I
some sleep.
don't
They need
because
their rest.
I'm like, you were spotted and you left him behind? So
He
I'm
wasn't spotted. She
running.
was talking to me. That's why I'm here. What am I gonna do?
Out of
But,
meta game, that's what he told her to do. So don't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like
Yeah.
it's
No.
perfectly fine that she came back because he told her to. Yukaliel's just like, she's afraid
know,
he's in trouble. That's
I
all.
didn't
She's
wanna
afraid
do
he's in
it.
trouble.
Yep. Joe, me too. Probably crying at this point because just tired.
And she also
But
knows
we're
that all
running.
those poor hobbits are tired.
I am hungry, and I'm just bolting.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
here, have a trail mix bar. Come on, let's go.
I cannot find any.
So okay,
There's
so
a lot of
Yucalia,
stuff going on here.
you're
Yeah.
running back.
Mm-hmm.
Goldie, are you gonna follow her, or just gonna stay back at the prancing pony and actually try and get some
No.
sleep now?
I am running with Eucalio. Are we?
Okay.
How fast is Eucalio?
I'm faster than you. I am. Hang on. Or maybe we're the same speed. We might be the same speed because you're faster. Yes, we're the same
Yeah.
speed because I'm
So
not
30.
waiting for the horse. So 30
Okay.
feet movement
Yep.
speed. So yeah.
Samesies. So probably a little behind, then I'll just be to the left.
Okay. It would be about this time actually that Jari and Zurich have re-entered Bree themselves.
hmm
Uh,
So we
Yeah.
passed them.
you'll see them coming down the road towards you as you're going to turn up Bree Hill.
I won't shout. I'll wait until we're closer and just say, Maidon might be in trouble. And I continue going the direction that Goldie says I should be going.
All
Zurich
right.
hears that. He
Yeah,
just
like I say it
shrugs.
to the dwarves as we approach them. I just say, Maidon might be in trouble. And then,
Are you running in a particular direction?
yes, I'm, Goldie is giving me directions and I am running. I'm assuming it was like towards where the schoolhouse was, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're heading up
And
the hill.
Zurich will just shrug and I guess he's exhausted, right?
Yeah.
He'll just muster whatever energy he has left and start whatever jog he can muster.
On the
direction.
bright side, your movement isn't halved until the second level of exhaustion, if I remember
Right.
correctly.
Yeah.
So you can move just as fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jari just kind of calls out after you, says, "Be careful, Master Zurich." And he's just trundles along. He's not going to try and keep up with you.
All right. That's good. I got the box under my arm, like the Heisman true.
No,
like the
no,
Heisman
Marigold has
football
it.
Guy.
No.
Oh,
yeah,
Marigold.
remember you
Okay.
gave it to
Okay,
Marigold.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, then I'm just jogging with whatever energy I have left.
hmm
Okay.
As we're running up, remembering the plan, like in a sudden clarity, I will say, were you at the inn because you were watching over the messenger? So whatever made trouble, Maiden,
It was.
you gonna attack her?
Yes,
go
I
back?
was. And now no
Should I
one
go-
is watching her.
I know. Should I go back?
Go.
Okay.
I hand my
Sounds good.
key to Anna, or sorry, to Goldie. I hand my key to Goldie and say, you can stay in my room. Please
Okay.
try not to fall asleep.
This,
I will be back as soon as I can.
this frantic hobbit is
Downhill.
He's just run the length of the town of Bree
Down
like
the
1.5 times.
Over the
Um,
fence.
Jari sees you have this conversation, and you turn around, Goldie, and head back towards the prancing pony. Says, "Oh, young lady, are you headed back to the prancing pony? I'll escort you." And
I
he'll
am
start.
bolting. I'm running.
Yeah, he's having a hard time keeping up with you. Yeah.
If you touch me, I'll scream.
You see him kind of huffing and puffing, but he's still trying to jog and catch up to you. So that leaves Zurk and Eucalio as you make your way up
Yes.
towards the schoolhouse, about no more than a couple 100 feet up the road. As you're just at the base of the hill, you see the crumpled form of Mython on the ground.
Okay. I will rush over and immediately check him for injuries, etc.
He
I will
has
rush over and stand over them and look for the assailant.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
At disadvantage,
And-
right?
At disadvantage. And Eucalio, you haven't actually had a chance to finish your chance yet, so you'll be at disadvantage too. One level of
Okay.
exhaustion. But this will be a medicine check.
All right. Medicine. Disadvantage. Wonderful.
Wow,
Yeah.
I rolled good.
All right, Zurich, with your perception of 15, you look around. The streets are empty at this hour of the day. You do hear the odd rooster crowing as people are starting to stir, but no one is out yet. Eucalio, with that roll, you can tell that Mython was stabbed in the back of the head.
Okay.
Puncture wound.
In the back of the head. Okay. All right. Well, I've got my healer's kit, so but I can't. With that roll, I can't tell that he's actually stabilized already.
Oh yeah, he's stable. He's still breathing. You can tell he's
Okay.
alive. Yeah.
Okay. I will just pull out bandages and stuff and start bandaging him. Maybe seeing if I can get him to come to consciousness.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, with that natural 20, I think you automatically get 1 hit point.
yeah.
So, Mython, you're actually barely conscious at this point now.
You see a very worried, pale face, just being like, "Python, are you okay? What happened?"
He saw the light at the tunnel but turned away.
I don't think Eucaliel would even think of something like that. We have a different afterlife.
This is true. I don't know. I think Mython would be just. I don't know if he would actually have the wherewithal to answer her right now.
Dark will say, "We can
And
bring
he
him
just
back.
He just
We can
got
bring him back
stabbed
to
in the
my
neck.
flat. We can bring him back to my flat. I think it's important we get him out of the streets."
Okay.
Oh wait, he's in the schoolhouse or he's in the street?
He's in the
He's
street.
in the street.
Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
important we get him out of the street. We can take him back to my workshop.
Okay. I will help lift him. I'm not strong necessarily, but I'm not weak either. I'm like a straight 10 in strength.
Zurich is strong but not tall, so I don't know how that would work.
I'll hold the
I
head part, you hold the legs part, and we'll make this work.
Oh great, right? We're carrying the body back to my workshop.
Yeah,
That's
let's
gonna
carry him
look
kind of diagonally in the way that he's laying.
I mean, carrying bodies through the streets of Bree, this should be old hat by now.
Ah, this is true. We had a cart before, though.
That's true.
All right. So you make it back to your workshop.
Yep.
Goldie, you're back at the Inn of the Prancing Pony now, after having run a half marathon. What did you want to do? Do you want to go to Eucalio's
So
room?
how far are our rooms? Is it on the way?
No, they're in totally different areas of the inn. They usually segregate the rooms for the small folk on one side and the big folk on the other.
Do I see Bernie? He's there, right?
At this hour, the kitchen staff have started to stir and they're preparing meals, but Barnabas is not, Butterbur, sorry, is not visible. He's given up and he's just gone to sleep. Now that the other staff can answer the door.
Okay, can I just I'll just ask someone if they can go to do we have adjacent rooms or are the three hobbits sharing a room? I don't remember that. I think we two were
I thought you had 2 rooms. No?
2 rooms. Okay. I'll ask someone to go.
If I remember right, it was you and I grabbed a room together because we were on official business, and then Turk got his later since he was a little bit less savory about things.
Okay. Yeah, I'll ask them to go wake Turk and hopefully and ask him to wake Marigold and come meet me at this room because I have something important to tell them and I'll run and I hope for the best.
So you're waking me up and I wake Marigold up.
Yeah.
And the meeting at
I asked them to wake you up and if they can tell you to wake Marigold up. Like just something very important and I just have to go check on something. It is very time sensitive, so I'm just gonna run up. If you could just ask my cousin Turk and for him to just get Marigold and they'll come.
Can you make a persuasion check for me, please, Goldie?
At disadvantage.
Disadvantage, yeah, because you are
Yeah,
exhausted at this point.
They're not sorry for me for how tired I look. No, they're not.
The servant that you are asking is rushing around trying to prepare the inn for breakfast. Looks at you kind of exasperated as you make this request and just say, I'll get to it when I have a chance.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Instead, I'll take, when he's not listening, I'll take a silver penny out. And I know breakfast was already bit, but I'll take a silver penny. I was like, can you bring breakfast to Turk? Breakfast for 3 to Turk, and he'll bring it to me. Just please. I'm hungry, and I'm tired, and I need to go check on this. Just please, please, please.
He looks at the silver penny and says, I can't make change for this.
Yeah, it's okay. All for you. I just want food and Turk. And Marigold, please.
Okay, right on it. And this time he just
Thank
drops
you.
his buckets or whatever he was holding and heads to the kitchen.
Alright. I just want something fast. Cold meats. And meat. Ale. Something. And I'll run.
Marigold, can you make a perception check for me, please, at disadvantage?
Marigold, huh? Or me?
Marigold.
Oh, man.
Oh, you muted. So
Yeah, you're muted.
Yeah, my laptop is lagging and doing like double clicks on everything. I'm sorry.
Oh,
But I was going to
no
say,
worries.
yeah, you know the answer to whether or not I can make a perception check, even at advantage.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Any time now?
Thinking about it. If you have
Yeah, I'm sorry.
no worries.
Alchemy's just crap.
If you want to roll some other way, then just tell me what you roll. That's cool too.
Oh, I think it just popped for me.
Oh, I don't see it.
Yeah, alchemy is just going in and out for me. Whoop. Ugh. All right, dear phone, come here.
Oh, there it comes up. It came up. Came up.
Oh, good.
All right. Turk. You hear a knock on the door. Excuse me, sir?
What do you want?
I was told to bring breakfast to you.
Where is it?
Well, I'm holding it. If you would like, I can just leave it outside your door for you.
Bring it in.
Is your door locked?
I don't know if they would have locks on the doors.
They do actually at the inn.
I'll walk over and open the door for him.
Okay. You see a young boy, probably 14 years old, kind of carrying in this tray of food. Probably enough to feed like 2 grown people, but maybe be adequate for a couple of halflings. Or hobbits. Sorry, not halflings. Sorry.
Do I recognize him?
No, you do not recognize him. No. He's just a local worker, kitchen boy. He says, "Here he goes, sir. I was instructed that you're to share this meal with Marigold."
Yeah, just put it down over there.
Very good. And he puts it down on the table and just kind of rushes out.
Okay, I'll go next door. Knock on the door.
You knock on the door, and as you knock on the door opens.
And who's there?
Oh, no, the door just opens. It's like the force of you knocking on the door just kind of knocked open the door.
And this is the room that my cousins were supposed to be staying in.
Correct.
And if the door swings a little bit more open, can I see what is inside?
Marigold is sleeping.
But the door was open.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up very suddenly. No longer half awake. I ready a weapon and I stealthily move inside, thinking somebody else is in that room.
Can you make a stealth check for me, please?
I damn well hope so.
Oh, yeah. Quiet as a mouse.
And I'm looking in the shadows.
Can you make a perception check for me, please?
Okay.
You're the only one that has... Oh, natural one. Ouch. Maybe you didn't get as good a sleep as you had hoped. Need your morning coffee first, or your at least first breakfast, but no, you can't. You just see Marigold sleeping quietly.
Okay, I'll move up to... Well, I mean, I failed my perception check. I don't know that personally, so I will go and try to wake her up.
All right. Marigold, you wake up to Turk kind of hovering over you, shaking you. Oh, you're muted.
What? It's not even sunup, cousin. Go to bed.
Okay. I'll go back to my room and eat that breakfast that's there for both of us.
Breakfast.
You just said the magic word.
Right? Snatching up the spare blanket, wrapping up in it overnight clothes, and trundling off to Turk's room for breakfast, apparently. Because breakfast is going to solve everything.
Cousin, can I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
How awake were you last night when you came in the room? Did you close the door and lock it behind you?
I'm pretty sure I would have. Why?
Let's go to breakfast, cousin. And as we go to breakfast, I'll pause just as we walk through the door and maybe just sort of rather uncertainly, or I just got an odd feeling in me that something's not right, cousin. And I'll just sort of linger in the door and I'll just listen if I hear anything, any stirrings or any mice moving about.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Make a perception check. Just you're specifically trying to hear something. All right.
Nice.
You hear people snoring in the room adjacent. You hear the sounds of staff working in the kitchen, preparing the common room for a meal. The rooster crowing in the distance. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Oh, cousin. You didn't happen to... Were you sleeping, perhaps, upon your... What you were supposed to protect?
The box! I will rush back into my room, check the bed that I probably would have just crawled into holding it, or a bedside table where I may have put it down, because she was so bleary-eyed and tired, probably just forgetting about the darn thing entirely. Just... It's somewhere in the blankets. It's got to be under the blankets, right? Or on the bedside table. It's somewhere.
Look. I'll help her look. Do I give her advantage for looking?
Yeah, go ahead. Actually, go ahead. Make a perception check with advantage there, Marigold. Oh, yeah, we're going to have to wait for this one, I think.
Yep. It'll have to think real hard.
Leave us in suspense for a little while.
Oh, here it is.
Okay, 15. Okay. Box is not where you think you remember putting it the previous night. And then you start thinking, did I put it on the table? Did I put it under the bed? Did I sleep with it? And you start rummaging through the place. It's gone.
Oh my!
It is gone.
Oh my gosh! I am going to sprint downstairs, blanket trailing full on behind me, barefooted, nightshirt, everything straight into the stables and clambering up top onto the cart and just looking anywhere and everywhere that it could have been on the cart still.
All right. You're running out to the stables. Turk, you see her running. Do you follow her?
I'll grab a piece of toast and some cup of tea, and then I'll follow.
Priorities. Okay. All right.
It's called role playing.
You make your way down to the stables. Your cart's not there. And Ted is gone.
Hell. Bloody hell. Where are the stable boys?
Yeah, I'm gonna go find Hob or Bob.
Bob and Knob?
Yes.
Yeah, they're there. They say, hello. Good morning.
Who drove off with my cart?
Your dwarf friend.
Okay. Did he happen to say by which gate he'd be leaving? Or did you happen to see which way he headed off?
He went that way, and they're pointing generally towards the east gate.
Thank you.
He was in a good mood.
I'm sure he was. Did he have anything in his arms when he came down?
It looked like he had a sack with him. Yeah.
Okay. Is my pony still here, or did he hitch it to a horse?
No, he took the whole thing. He said he was just taking it out for an errand, that he would be back.
He stole the pony.
Okay.
All right. With that, I'm going to move up to Goldie for a moment. You reach Eucalio's room. Is there something
And
you'd like to...
I'll try to do the same that she did, just leave the door open.
Mhm.
And I actually don't really know which room the messenger was in, but I do kind of want to see if there has been something weird about any doors or anything, and if not, I'll just like close the door and just like do the same that Eucalio did and try to eat almonds until breakfast comes with Turk.
Can you make a perception check for him, please?
Yeah.
It'll be, a disadvantage because you just kind of ran a lot and haven't had a chance to sleep.
Nope.
Right. You're having a hard time keeping your eyes open. Your head just kind of keeps dropping down to your chest, and your stomach is grumbling. Yeah, you're not a happy hobbit at this moment.
I'll just stay there because I am trying to assume that someone walking by would wake me up, and I just kind of want to. Is there a dark bedsheet, cloak, or something? Even
In
if it's really big.
In Eucalio's room? Yeah,
even if it's a bed sheet.
Yep, bed sheet.
I'll just wrap around myself and I'll just like peek there and just
kind of position yourself there, watching down the hallway out the door.
Yeah, trying to watch, leaving it smidge open, like enough that people don't really realize it's open, but it allows me at least to hear rumbling or doors opening and things like this if it happens.
Okay. Now I'm going to switch back to Zurich's workshop, where we find Eucalio, Zurich, and with concerned expressions on their faces as they hover over Mython's semi-conscious body.
Yep. I've patched him up the best I can with my healer's kit, and I get like some water. Water always helps things. Here, have some water. Death is very parching.
Your death.
What happened?
I was following the school teacher, and she managed to catch me from behind.
Did she happen to say anything, or did she just stab you?
She asked why I was following her and who sent me. I refused to answer. Well, no, let me backtrack that. I told her I was following her because we had not concluded our conversation, and I refused to answer who had sent us.
I'm sorry that all of this has almost cost you your life. Clearly, very dangerous. I'm a little worried about the hobbits now back at the inn, but
Zurich will
perhaps we
wander
should
over.
just rest the morning here, get some rest. I only need a few more hours, and then we can head back to the inn.
Zurich will wander over. He has been kind of perusing the place to see if anybody had been poking around while he was away. He's checking the door, making sure they weren't followed. But he'll make his way over to Mython and say, "Quite proficient with the blade for a school teacher, wouldn't you say, Ranger?"
I said she was more dangerous than she appeared.
Indeed.
Sort of think we need to prepare to leave this area sooner than we had originally planned. With someone like her around, I'm concerned that she's going to try to kill the messenger. And we also, Zurich wasn't with us when we caught everybody up on stuff.
That's
So
correct.
we do that. Or I do, because I know that Mython is still recuperating a little bit. But I do catch Zurich up with what happened, the little stiletto blade that she had, her recognition of the messenger's name, all of that, and
Okay.
our concerns.
What does Zurich know of the school teacher having lived in Bree for the past 10 years?
She was well respected. Everyone thought that she was a really good teacher, good with the children, very strict. There were rumors of her kind of wandering through the South Barrows. She claimed that she was either like doing research or picking flowers or some odd. She's always had an excuse to be doing that. The only odd thing about her is that she only arrived about 5 or 6 years ago. No one really knows where she came from, other than she came from somewhere to the south, and her accent kind of gives her away that she's not local.
All right, I will share those that kind of common town's knowledge with Kaliel and Mython, and obviously there's more than meets the eye with the school teacher.
My suspicion was that she was another Dunlending woman. Same as the messenger. Same as the man who came to apparently not kill the messenger, although I don't really believe that's true. Gandalf's many things, but he's not infallible.
Zurich will tug on his beard and shuffle his feet like he's struggling, and then he will say that he was visited by an assassin. What was it? 2 nights ago, or however long ago. Just I think it was when you came into town, and Bree was never a safe place, but it is less safe than ever before. And he'll pull out the Diremox stiletto from his pouch to show Yukaliel and Mython. He'll say he left this behind, and his head was rolled upon the prancing pony's floor, if you remember.
The man who was killed was your assassin? Your would-be assassin?
Indeed, he came to my door, gave me the warning, said it was not of his ilk to do what he was paid to do, that he would try to fend for himself. And that was the last I saw of him until his head rolled onto the floor.
Did he look like he was also of the same origin as the other possible Dunlending people?
If I remember correctly, Zurich will toss his chin over at Mython and say, "It looks like him, brooding with a cloak."
Well, I'm also brooding with a cloak, but I
Then he looks
understand
like
what you mean.
Then he looks like you too.
Well, Mylon and I don't actually look that similar. Um, so one of these others must have killed him when he didn't do the job he was sent here to do.
But why were they after me?
Why was he after you? Did he tell you?
He didn't. Just said that there was evil brewing and I somehow was getting in the way.
The box.
Oh,
The
fuck. Zurich cringes. The box!
the box. The
The
letter,
box!
the gift of gold. These things.
Zurich is already exhausted, and he just slaps his forehead and hauls Dwarven ass out of his workshop and says, "Lock the door behind you." And he goes to and he runs to whatever strength he can muster. He jogs off towards the prancing pony,
Okay.
muttering, "The box, the box."
My assumption is that Mydon can't move right now, or could he?
I'll say with one hit point, and given the nature of his injury, it was pretty one shot with a stiletto to the head. He's in rough shape. He can probably be moved, but slowly with help.
Okay. Then I will. Yeah, but how do I actually lock up his place behind me? The only thing I can do is lock it behind him and stay inside.
Yeah, that was more of just a colloquialism. But Zurich, I get, he was walking around his shop to see if it had been, anything was out of place. Can I roll a perception to see if I noticed
Yep.
anything? Or
Perception with disadvantage.
all right, this is sort of after the fact.
Dwarfism.
Yeah, didn't notice. But yeah, there's nothing.
No,
much
nothing out of place.
Nothing much that Zurich cares about in his workshop anymore. His priorities have changed drastically in the past 48 hours. So yeah, the lockup behind was more of just a off the cuff.
Okay.
But yeah, he's
I will
taken
try to
towards the Prince of
follow
Fun.
slowly with Mydon.
Okay. All right. Goldie, as you are huddled in the doorway, trying to look out and keep watch as to the comings and goings in this hallway, you're struggling to stay awake. It's just been adrenaline that's been fueling you up until this point. It's been a long, dreadful night. You've seen some pretty horrible things. And you're pretty exhausted. I'm going to have you make a constitution save for me, pretty. Just want to check something.
Check or save?
Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Oh man.
Okay.
Do I like this app? I don't.
You find yourself nodding off more than you want to, and you're just head kind of lolling about on your chest. But But while you're sitting there looking down the hallway, you don't see or hear anything. In the meantime, excuse me, Marigold is in the stables, panicking. Turk right behind her with a cup of tea and a piece of toast.
I'll eat half the toast and give her the other half and some of the tea.
I am going to spin on my heels and charge, possibly shouldering the toast to the ground, so help me, and I am so sorry. But barreling back into the inn and storming up to my room, looking for Goldie, and when I find out that she is not in the room, I'm going to turn around and scream at the inn in general. Where is Goldie?
Kirk doesn't know. I don't know where she is.
I don't hear you answer.
All right, thanks. Yeah, people are just kind of walking by your door, looking in as you scream this, and it's kind of giving you a strange look and scurrying on.
Who gave you the breakfast?
One of the Irving people.
I'm gonna grab one. I don't care. I'm gonna run back downstairs and grab someone working.
Okay.
The other hobbit! The other hobbit who came in with me, where is she?
They also kind of start husking around. Have you seen the other hobbit? Which hobbit is that? Oh, the one in the yellow dress, the flower dress.
Yeah, big colors.
I just one of the serving boys finally speaks. Oh yeah, I think she's up in the back wing. She's the one that told me to bring you breakfast.
Okay, so she's still here. Back wing. How do I get there?
They tell you direct you take the hallway down to the end, take the stairs up, and she's in that one. And they tell you the room number.
Running. Just running.
Okay.
As soon as I get into that back hallway, screaming for Goldie.
It's about this time actually when you're talking to these serving people, trying to figure out where Goldie is, when Zurich arrives, and you see
Do
this.
I arrive at the like the tavern room or
The
where
common
they
room.
are
This is the common room, and you walk
Okay.
in and you hear Marigold screaming at the staff.
see Marigold. She's upset, and I don't see the box.
Nope.
No,
I come in from the stables and I'll offer you some toast and some tea, Zurich.
He ignores Turk and just grabs the nearest bar stool and puts his face in his hands like this. He's already planning
Goldie.
what our recovery mission is going to be.
So Marigold, you see Zurich come in. You have the answer as to where Goldie is, so you run off.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll follow her.
All right, Turk and Gold.
Zurich stays put. Zurich stays put on his bar stool.
Okay.
He knows what's happened.
You run up to the room that you were directed to. And you can see the door slightly ajar, and you see Goldie there, just kind of head bowed down, just kind of trying her hardest to stay awake, but she's in and out.
I will come skidding to a halt and just Goldie! The sneaky bastard dwarf stole the box!
What box?
The box! And he stole Ted! And the cart!
You got. Oh. Well, this is Callie's room, and I want to. I was watching. I don't know where she's at. Where are they? What happened?
We got back and we went to bed. It was the middle of the night. Where were you? What happened? What's going on?
Well,
Where'd
not
you
in
have
bed.
the
I don't
other
know.
one?
Ah. Not in bed, that's for sure. Wait, should we watch here or should we watch for the box? I don't know anymore.
No, the box is gone. The box is just gone.
So we can watch the
The
box.
sneaky bastard dwarf took it out the east gate. He stole it with Ted and the cart, and he rode east.
Rick's going to have a look inside the room where the messenger is being kept.
I don't think we know which room it is.
You don't know which room it is. Only Mython and Eucalia.
Yeah, we were the only ones who were shown what the door was.
Do you still have tea, Turk? I'm gonna steal the cup. I want it ale, but tea will do.
You may
Okay.
have tea and toast.
I will eat it gladly. Okay.
Seeing as I'm the only person with this much energy, I'm going to redirect it. I'm going to head downstairs to where Zurich is and confirm his fears and pass him the information that the sneaky bastard dwarf broke into my room, took the box, and headed out the east gate on our cart.
When you are
Zurich just
reconvening, when you're reconvening with Zurich, that's when I'll say Eucalia brings a very injured Mython back to the prancing pony.
Yeah, I've got him like over my, one arm over my shoulder because we're about the same height. And I'm just kind of like helping him limp in. He's got like a bandage around his head.
I don't think the prancing pony has.
What? All I heard was your cart is missing? What?
Jari, the sneaky bastard dwarf, he broke into my room, stole the box, took off on the cart with Ted towards the east gate.
Well,
what happened to him?
Can we go up to my room for a moment? I'd rather not broadcast it across the common room.
Zurich nods.
And I help him up the stairs back to my room.
Okay.
So apparently it's time for calm now. Okay.
As you all retreat up to the common room, you see that one serving boy call out, would you like us to send breakfast up to your room?
More breakfast. More breakfast.
Bangers, potatoes.
I don't
Honey.
care, whatever they want.
Right, then
Yeah,
we'll be up in
Eucalia was just like, I don't care. I don't really eat that much. It really doesn't matter.
Bring the alpha biscuit.
Bring your full breakfast so we can share it.
Goalie and Turk, who remained up in Eucalia's room, you see a few moments later the rest of your company coming up the stairs down the hallway towards you. Mython just kind of leaning heavily on Eucalia.
I set him up on his bed.
I shouldn't have left you alone. This is my fault. What happened?
The schoolmistress has murderous intent, just as I thought. I am more than happy to use my horse to hunt down Jari, but someone must watch the messenger. I fear that she is going to come here and try to kill her. I heard from Zurich that another one of these assassins was already killed for not doing their job. This messenger has failed in her job and might be killed. I have sworn to bring her where she needs to go.
Something I should
So,
have asked.
mhm.
Sorry, go for it.
I was just going to say, so whichever one of you has actually slept, if you could please watch, and I kind of like point out the door, that room. If you can convince Betsy to let you in, that's even better.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't know because, like, I was running. I didn't hear if you said which room she was in, and I have the feeling that I was sleeping a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit, and I don't know if there's anyone in this room. Also, the room was not watched for a little bit of time. Well, we were trying to run. Ooh, so maybe we should check there's still someone in it, so we're not just watching a door. I can go and see if I can ask Betsy to let me look in,
Whoever
or if
goes and
she's done.
checks on her should be someone who has been well rested.
Oh yeah, I shouldn't be.
I think you need to rest.
Yeah.
Mylon needs to rest. Zurich, I'm sure you need to rest as well. Would anyone like to come with me while I hunt down Jari?
I shall.
Okay. Can you? I know that this is a highly unlikely thing, but I will ask. Do you think that you can manage my horse while we're riding so that I can take a nap? It's not a nap, I meditate. So that I can recuperate a little bit.
We're gonna leave that one up to the DM or the LM, I should say.
Yeah. If not, that's fine. She's still going to try to meditate.
All right, so two of you make your way down to the stables,
Yes.
um,
To get to my horse.
and the rest of you are going to just try and catch some modicum of rest in Eucalio's room.
And I
Zarek.
think Marigold was going to try to get Betsy to let her. I mean, I don't want to spend too much time, but I'd be willing to put my word in for Marigold with Betsy before I go to the stables. I
Okay.
just, you know.
Okay, yeah,
I know
Betsy's
that-
up and about, and she'll say, yeah, she thinks Marigold's harmless enough.
Okay.
Zurich is going to go back to his workshop, and he is going to sleep,
Okay.
and then he is going to remove the stone beyond the fire in his hearth. He's going to pull out his father's ringmail, battle axe, and shield. He is going to transform from Mason Zurich into Warrior Zurich.
Ooh, here we go. All right. Eucalio and Turk. You make your way to the stables. You see Bob come out and greet you and says, hello, can I help you?
Prepare my
Saddle up the
horse.
Then Nob kind of comes out and they kind of look at each other.
If you say that dwarf took my elven horse, I am going to have some words to say, possibly involving an arrow.
No, ma'am. It wasn't a dwarf, ma'am. It was a schoolmistress.
He's already here.
She said
Dodge that arrow.
Yeah.
and she had she had the lady that was in the back of your cart.
And what did she say for you to give her my horse?
Yes, and she said that you had given her permission.
And you didn't check to be sure? Have you ever seen her in my company before right now?
She knew who you were.
And so do you. Does that mean I would give you my horse?
I don't know.
The answer is no.
You can see that they're both on the verge of tears. And Nob kind of looks at Bob. I think we really screwed up this morning. And Bob says, "Oh, I don't know if we have
Did
a
she
job anymore."
Both of the stallions or just one?
The other lady was still too weak to ride on her own, so they only took the one horse. But they.
All right, I'm taking my Von Stallion then. I'll
Okay.
go up and talk to the stallion and say that we need to go find his brother.
Kind of gives you a little in the nod, and Bob kind of comes up to you, hat in hand, looking really sheepish and pitiful. So, ma'am?
Yes.
Really, really sorry about your horse. We didn't mean anything, but we honestly thought that she was taking the lady to get better. That's what she said anyway.
Did you see which direction she went?
I believe they said they were headed south.
Thank you.
Who is this? Is it Bob or Nob?
This is Nob speaking to you guys now.
Okay, Nob. Tell me exactly. How did you get that information? Were they talking amongst themselves, or did she say it loud enough so that she knew that you would hear that?
They kind of look at each other and well, she said if anyone asks that to tell them that they were headed south.
Which means they're not headed south. Yukaliel straight up says that out loud.
And then they look at each other. Why would she lie?
She stole
Well, she's
your
already
horse.
lied once, hasn't she?
These
Employees of the year. Yeah, these hobbits.
I'm going to go inside. I expect the horse prepared by the time I come back out.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I turn around and go inside to let people know the new news. So I update everybody, like Myvon and them, about the fact that I stop I stop Marigold and just say, don't worry. Apparently, the messenger has already been taken by the schoolmistress, and they've absconded with my horse. I'm going to have a talk with the establishment about proper rules for allowing personal property to leave the area. But they said they were going south, which means they're not. So perhaps they're going in the same direction as Jari. But regardless, I think the box and the stuff that we're dealing with here are connected. We need them both.
I'm going to turn to Turk. You're staying here? You're going to help Goldie? Make sure she gets rest? You're going to help the two of them make sure whatever happened to his head gets better. I'm going to look up at you, Kaliel.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized I'm still wearing a nightshirt. I'm going to go change, and then we're riding off to find your horse and your messenger. And if we find Jury along the way, he's going to be finding my knife.
That sounds acceptable. I'll meet you in the stables. And I go talk to the establishment about what I said I was going to talk to them about.
Okay, Zurich. Did you want to take a rest at your home before you gear up for war?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what we'll do then. You guys are all second level now. That's where we'll end tonight. So next session, you guys will be second level. You will have a short rest. Those of you who have not had a chance to rest yet.
Okay.
Eucalia, that means that you can, since you're going to be second level, you can employ that fancy new feature that you have.
Yes. Yes, the healing. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I think Mython
that
might
should
need that.
help. Yeah, that's going to help my then. Okay.
Does the short rest affect exhaustion?
Yes. Typically, a short rest in the wild is 8 hours, but because you are at the inn and you're home, I'm going to consider these safe places. So it'll be an hour.
Safe
Okay.
places where people don't get things stolen or horses.
Yeah. I mean, Mython got stabbed in the street, so it's not.
Yeah, if he was in the prancing pony, he
Yeah.
would have been safe. Not.
Can we talk about how to level?
Sure. So you're gonna have to do it in. Actually, what I would suggest you do is do it on your character sheet on that
Yeah.
Google Drive, and then what I'll do is I'll transcribe it into Alchemy, all the updates.
The only thing I'm not sure about is hit points. Like, how do I?
When you do your when you add a level on your character sheet, if you're using the same character sheet that a lot of us were, it will automatically calculate your hit
nice.
points.
It did.
But we still need to roll.
Oh, that's the other thing.
Well,
I mean,
if we're using default, are we rolling or using default for hit
well,
points?
do you want to do what we're doing in the other campaign? You want to do that? Which is the player rolls, and I roll a secret die, and then you choose which one you want. The roll that you see in front of you that you rolled, or the secret die that I rolled for your hit points.
Gotcha. And because I forget how the hit points go up at a level. It's your hit die plus something.
Your Constitution bonus.
Constitution bonus. Great. That's a 0. Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah,
It's all on deck.
So let's see.
Are we rolling tonight or next session?
We'll roll next session. If,
Okay.
but I mean, it has to be everyone uses the same approach or not. So you guys can discuss as to which approach you guys prefer.
Yeah. Because the default just cuts the middle, right? Like it chooses like an average roll of the die.
Yeah.
It's actually
Okay.
higher than average
Okay.
because because your average roll is going to be something 0.5 and it takes it up.
Yeah.
So, and I have, as you see, I have really horrible dice karma, so I am completely okay with taking the one that's just slightly above average.
Yeah, I was gonna say how well we rolled tonight. I am not. There's not a chance.
Yeah, you got
I'm
it.
in
Clutch.
day.
If I have to roll for it, sorry, good.
Now go on.
I was going to say, if I have to roll for it, I would expect my character to die.
You're like supposed to get more HP and suddenly you just keel over.
Yeah.
Oh, those
I mean,
rolls
to
are
be fair, he
horrible.
gets to roll well, so we could either choose our roll or his. We could assume that
Yes.
he's going to roll better.
Yes, no, this is true. It really works out in the other campaign, at least for the most part. It really
Yeah.
does. I recommend it.
I don't mind. I don't mind doing the rolling if everyone's okay with that.
Besides, it's a lot more fun. There's a lot more tension.
There's the potential to
Yeah,
get much higher HP.
That's right.
I prefer. This is just me, and I'm sorry to be the killjoy. I can see the fun and thrill in it, but if there's the few bits of random chance that I can minimize, I like doing that. Just
I
because of
agree.
how much random chance kicks me in the pants.
I agree. I'd like to take the guarantee. I vote for taking the guaranteed number.
Taking the default. Okay.
Yeah.
So I
Alright.
think that's
All right, we'll settle
Three
it.
or four of
We'll
us.
take the default then.
Yeah, okay.
Just for record keeping as well for fellowship. Sorry.
That's two people who said no. What about the rest of us?
I think
Okay.
Ark said no as well.
I'm staunching
Well,
on two rolls.
I kind of snarked about it because I
Oh,
was like,
okay.
if I have to roll for my character, he'll end up dead. But
Gotcha.
yeah, that's my way of saying, yeah, I'll take the default because I just don't trust these rolls.
Gotcha. What about
Okay, I'm minority report that. That's fine.
I like both goes, but the default looks very nice here, having 7 extra hit points from the 10 that I just had. So it is
gotcha.
very nice. The default.
Mhm.
Okay.
It is fun to see what happens.
Maybe less fun if
Yeah,
it's your
for
character's life on
sure.
the line. Because that
Yeah.
happened a couple times when I did roll a 1 for you guys, so it can happen.
Yeah.
The other thing to keep in mind is you have 3 fellowship points left.
Yes.
We have more than that.
Yeah, because we get another one when she levels up.
That's true.
I'm taking 3 of company, so anytime we use a fellowship point, I start handing out inspiration.
All right, that'll come in handy. All right. So we'll start from there next week on the trail of Jari and or Anna.
I just wanted to say for the record, I'm not up for staying behind. By the way, I'm not going to take any order like that.
I don't.
Should
I
we split
feel
up?
like
again?
I feel like now that nobody has to be watching the messenger because she's not there, there's no risk leaving Mydon and Zurich and Goldie to rest as long as we leave them in, leave them information to know what happened.
Found it.
Then they can. They're not going to have any horses, but
Yeah, I somebody needs to be able to pass them information.
yeah. And that's another thing. I don't know. It's up to the lore master whether or not I can have 2 hobbits on my horse with me. Because if I
Yeah.
can't,
Yeah, 2 hobbits
then
will work.
okay. Then yeah, I don't mind bringing the 2 of them because yeah. So.
Just one thing I will say. I'm not gonna. You have complete control as to what you guys want to do. Since you've seen how deadly Anna can be. You may want to consider not splitting the party.
That's true
I
because
agree.
you said that we were going to get a short rest at the beginning of next session, so I would be able to heal up Mydon. So we may not have to leave anybody behind, but we are going to have to get some horses.
And honestly,
at least temporarily.
you don't even know what Jerry's capable of.
This is true.
Not shoveling, that's for sure.
He's not
Yeah.
capable of being an honest person. We
Yeah, right.
know that.
Freaking sneaky though.
He's just misunderstood. I will stand by that.
Mm.
That he is not. I completely understand him.
Okay. Well, that's cool. So next week, second level, and we'll continue on, and maybe you'll be in pursuit of your prey.
All right, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for the wonderful game. I had
Yeah,
fun.
no, yeah.
Very fun.
It's-
Competing objectives are awesome. Right? Everything, it just feels so sketchy. I don't know what we should do next. It's great.
I'm glad that I didn't die before reaching second level.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, small steps.
Yep, small successes.
You made it to second
Next-
level.
Next week, Andrew? Next week?
2 weeks.
I'm hoping that Mython's horse will be able to like bloodhound it after the other horse, since they were like, they were raised up together. And then maybe we could track them down that way. But yeah.
It is just a horse in the end, but anyway.
True, absolutely true. And if it can't, then that's fine. I have alternatives, but most animals of the animal kingdom have a better sense of smell than we do. So,
This is true. All right, folks. I'm going to head out then, and have yourselves a good night.
Good
Thanks,
idea.
Andrew. Good game,
See you
everybody.
guys. See ya.
Y'all, later.